All right, it's Ron Goodall, FightHype.com. I'm here with BoMac himself. How's it going?
It's going pretty good, man. I'm doing pretty good.
You know, it's a really big fight with Troy Isley on this card. It's not just a fight professionally, but personal. These guys have a little amateur history in the back. They kind of went back and forth, but this one's for all the marbles. How's Troy Isley been in the training camp?
Man, Troy looks so sharp in this camp. Got some good work in. You know, Troy has never been the one to, you got to push him in workouts here because he'll push himself. So he knows what's at stake, and this is just a step closer to getting to a world title.
You know, a lot of fighters need trainers to kind of push them, but Troy seems like a person who's very critical on himself, like a person who over-examines himself. Does it make it a little bit easier as a trainer for someone like
Definitely that, man. When a fighter comes in the gym and they come in ready and know what they got to do and don't ask a bunch of questions and just listens, that's what a trainer wants. Mm-hmm. And that's somebody like Troy. You know, when they come in the gym, it's go. All we go until it's time to do the last abs or something like that, or the 20-20-20. So that's one thing I like about Troy.
You know, other great, trainers that came before you, like Virgil Hunter, will always tell me it's hard to just get a fighter off one fight and really make a lot of changes. It usually takes 2 or 3. Do you feel like at this point, after those 2 amazing performances he's had with top guys, that Troy is able to, I guess, his style and you are able to mesh at its full potential now?
Well, here's the thing with Troy, and I tell him this all the time. Whatever I'm saying to you, you already know. You've been at the highest level as an amateur. You've been all over the world and fought them all. So whatever I'm saying to you, you didn't heard it before. It just take a little bit of reminding to fighters that been there and done that already to just bring it out on them. So it's not hard. It's not hard with Troy. Just remind him, show him things that he's seen before, or he's somebody that taught him already. He come from K Corona, and K's an absolutely phenomenal trainer. And I just say some of the things that, he showed him all the years that he's been in boxing. So that's the easy part.
Absolutely. I know that in the middleweight division, it's real close. I know he's already sparring with Carlos Adames. Janabek's around the corner. So when do you see maybe Troy fighting for a world title?
I was telling these guys over at ESPN, I say 2 or 3, let him keep getting his feet wet at 10 rounds, know what it feels like, and to experience it itself. And 2 or 3, and then he'll be ready.
Awesome. Switching topics, and obviously I have to ask about, not specifically like in camp with Terrence, but just how's everything going with everyone in Colorado, and Keyshawn, because I know Keyshawn's fighting on the 6th, Calvin, and what many people feel Terrence might be on the biggest boxing card of the year with Turkey.
Right. This camp is going good, man. When you got the best pound for pound fighter in the gym, and then they see him working hard, it just rolls downhill. The other guys, other fighters, Keyshawn, Troy, Steven, they want to be in a position that Bud's in, and how hard Bud works is phenomenal. They see it firsthand themselves, and that's the easy part, because those guys, they want to get to the pinnacle of boxing, and to see it firsthand, that's the best thing.
Terrence is in one of those fights where many times, boxing writers or journalists, even fans, where when they don't recognize the name, they often say, hey, he's a nobody. But if you look at Terrence's career, all the names was kind of Terrence's easiest fights, but the fighters like a Mean Machine or Victor Postal, I feel like Madrimov falls in that category.
Yeah, because them guys that's from overseas, Ukraine and Kazakhstan and all those stand countries. Guys, they hungry just as much as the American fighters are. And coming over here and getting the opportunity to fight a fighter like Terrence, that's like, you beat somebody like Terrence, that's hitting the jackpot, and we do understand that. We understand that wholeheartedly, that the guys come over here and getting their chance and trying to feed their families and make history for themselves and be at the top of the world. So we understand that, man, and we're well prepared for it.
Do you view Madrimov, like on paper, Terrence moving up 154, probably one of his toughest fights? I know it's you haven't been in the ring, but just kind of the optics, right?
Well, I've watched his fights, some of his fights. And the dude is tough, man. The dude is tough as shit. And you can't sleep on this kid, man. And he wanted to. You can just tell he wants him. Just meeting him and seeing him a couple weeks ago, and it's his team, and they serious about this, and that just only make us better.
I know the ultimate goal is to get past Madrimov and look for the next biggest fights. Is Canelo, a potential with Turkey, or it's just, I know it's been asked millions of times.
I think I just know we just taking one fight at a time. I'm sure if that opportunity came up for Bud, he'll sit down and think about it, talk about it with his team, and go from there. But right now, Madrimov is on his own. It's our biggest challenge right now. So you can't, like I said, you can't sleep on it, dude. Dude is pretty damn good.
Not going into strategic details, but as a trainer, this confirmation, did you see more holes in Canelo's game when he fought Munguia? I know styles make fights, but did you look at that fight and just reassured you more like, oh yeah, Terrence?
No, I really didn't. I just looked at it and it was an entertaining fight. So, my mind is just set on the next opponent. When and if it ever comes up, I'll circle back around and watch and look for what I'm looking for.
Awesome. My last couple questions in regards to pound for pound. I know it's interchangeable. I know Inoue, Terrence, and Usyk's been like the three-headed monster. Everyone switches around. Do you feel that's a fair statement? I know that Terrence is always gonna be number one, but when people bring up Usyk, I know Terrence said, hey, it's fair, valid, that he could be maybe over me for right now, and then it changes, it's fickle, but
I mean, it could, man. Those guys did some really good things in the sport, especially Usyk, man. The way he beat Tyson Fury, that was great. That was great. It was a great performance. He deserved. If anybody say that he's number one, he deserved it. Which number one is in my book.
Yeah.
So, but you can't take nothing away from Inoue or Usyk, because those guys they special too. But special is Crawford.
Yeah.
And we know that.